Step 6 in creating a successful marketing plan involves the hunter-gatherer method. Curious? Interested? Definitely stay tuned.
This is Don't Fear Grit with Rob Taormina. Marketing strategies and advertising technologies to help you build a better business.
We are pretty deep in our discussion on what creates a successful marketing plan. Specifically, we're in step 6 of a 7-step program that we have here on helping people to create those successful marketing plans. So if you're just tuning in now and you have skipped the first 6 or you've missed out on it, what I recommend is pause and go back and start at step number 1. Now, where each of these episodes can definitely live on its own because filled with like really, really great nuggets of information, but collectively they really work well together because together they're going to be the full 7 steps of creating a marketing plan, a successful marketing plan. So whether you're an agency or a small business owner and you want to get sort of the secrets of the trade on how the pros do this, this is the 7 of the steps and really 7 steps to creating a successful marketing plan. And step 6, if you're still with us, it has to do with the hunter-gatherer method. And that's sort of like a little sort of title that I've put on this internally for my guys. And what it is first is like a hunter, you want to be able to anticipate the thing that you are in pursuit of and that thing's next moves and how to best execute on achieving your goals as it relates to that thing that you are pursuing. High-end hunters are able to be patient. They are well planned. They've come together and they've developed all of their action plans, and they know situationally now what action plan they need to implement in order to be able to most efficiently achieve the goal. Hence why this is really important here, because in step 6, you want to create action plans based on the data now that you have been collecting based on the previous steps. And so you develop all of these really great action plans based on that data. So for example, that could be like you have a great idea that you want to market to a specific audience, right? That's great, but ideas only matter if you know how to actually deliver on that. So it's wonderful that you've been able now to identify maybe a certain demographic of individual, and you know the product or the service now that you want to present to that particular type of demographic. But how do you do that? What are the platforms that would be best served to most efficiently reach that particular audience? How do you now take that particular platform and be able to maximize conversion rates? What is your conversion rate? What type of budget should you be allocating to certain types of platforms or medias, So it's really important here that at this step, you take all of your data, you have all your ideas, you know who you want to reach. Now you have to develop an action plan on how you're going to execute upon those goals. And that includes, like I just said before, is what platforms you might want to be advertising, the budgets, things of that particular nature. So that is that hunter sort of mindset. You want to exhaust now all of those possibilities on being able to properly and efficiently and effectively reach that audience with the really great action plans. You want to be a sort of a planner here. So you're a hunter, but a great hunter is a great planner. Now, I said earlier, I call it the hunter-gatherer principle because the second step of this sort of I guess there's 2 steps within this step. Is the second one is the gatherer. And in this sense, you want to be able to gather feedback. It's so valuable to be humble about this particular step here. And oftentimes, I think what gets in the way is you're putting all of this really great work in, and you got a lot of blood, sweat, and tears up until this point, and your arrogance is going to get away of being able to adapt maybe to some additional feedback. That's why here you want that feedback, and it's really great if you can afford to do this, or you've got people around you that you trust, is to develop a team of individuals internally. By the way, this is not external feedback. This is internal feedback. That's really, really important here, and definitely make a mental note. I'm talking about internal feedback And you want to present now all of this data that you've collected with these action plans to your internal team so that they can now review, analyze, and provide feedback. I think that it is important to swallow your pride a little bit here and be open to some suggestions, because sometimes you might overlook some of tiny little details that maybe you're making an assumption that there's already knowledge, or an assumption that maybe the customer is understanding something, and that based on the internal feedback, you're finding out maybe you need to be a little bit more clear, or maybe in your action plan, you didn't include maybe some really great opportunities for you to be able to reach an audience. Or maybe there's the internal feedback is, hey, I think you actually allocated too much budget here. I think we can pull some budget from this actionable step and you can apply it to this other actionable step, right? And all of that feedback really is ultimately going to help you be able to be more successful. It's going to make you look better. It's going to be able to help you to deliver a better product, service, a better result to your clients if it's an agency or if it's your own business, and being able to provide a bit better marketing plan for yourself. So you want that internal feedback. One really great example of someone that I know, what they do is they run a video production agency. And what they do for every single production is they have different teams working on various projects, but when a team is finished with a project, before they deliver it to the client, they actually have a sort of premiere party. Literally, there's a couch and there's a little TV, and they premiere this particular video project they've been working on with some popcorn, and there's a sheet, and they answer some various questions, and they get some feedback on it. Because at that point in time, you might have 1, 2, or 3 people looking at one project over and over and over again. And it's nice to get a fresh set of eyes to look on this project. And they're able to really sometimes just zero in on some maybe minor errors that were overlooked, or make some really great suggestions on maybe they can cut some stuff out a little bit more. Maybe it's a little bit long-winded, or maybe, you know what, the story's not complete. And by having that fresh set of eyes and ears and even mind strategically to look at the project, you're giving yourself a better chance of success. And they do a really great job. And that company is largely, massively successful. And that's something that I would recommend for all of you guys as well. And in this step, after now you have created your action plans as the hunter, right? Now you also want to take all of this data, all of this that you've been mapping out, and you want to have an internal team that you can present this to, that be your filter before it gets to the public, before it gets to your client, before it gets in front of your customers, right? Because that's going to be a little bit less forgiving than this step right here. And this is going to be that filter for you to help filter out all this stuff that maybe you didn't see. Hunter gatherer. That's what I call it. You can call it whatever you want, but ultimately it's about creating action steps based on now all of that data that you've been collecting and formulating from the earlier steps. You're going to take all these things. You have now your action plan. Now you're going to take all of this and present it to your internal team. It could just be one other person. It could be a team of several people, but it's important to be an internal team that is this is not the public at all. I would not open up this step to the public, but this is an internal team to help you fine tune that particular plan and what it is that it's for. Again, it could be for a product, a service, a brand, whatever the case may be, fill in the blank. This is a marketing plan for whatever. It could be for a non-for-profit. It could be for an event. It could be for anything. But this step is the hunter-gatherer. You want to create the action plans, and you want to be able to gather quality internal feedback here. So that is step 6 in creating a successful marketing plan. Hope you guys found value. Again, if you just found this one and you found value and you haven't even heard steps 1 through 5, I strongly recommend going back and starting at step 1 and now going all the way through it. This is, again, step 6 in a 7-step process. The next one is the final episode in this particular series on how to create a successful marketing plan. Guys, remember, don't fear the process and don't fear grit. We'll see you next time.